All right. Hello, hello. It has been a while, 6 months since I posted a last video. And this video actually goes out to someone who's been asking if I will ever do a YouTube video again. And I told that person, probably, maybe, we'll see. So here I am. So thanks for the little nudges. Let's see. So something I realized I haven't talked too much about is how I put rhythmic pieces together to make longer, not necessarily songs, more like rhythmic jams. So today I'm gonna give you just a basic structure to play with and some ideas about what you can drop into some of the spaces in this rhythm. So let's just dive right in. I'm going to play the basic structure that I'm thinking we'll work with today. So we're going to go with something that sounds like this. I understand that for some folks out there, this may be a super easy rhythm. For other folks, it might be really challenging. So my suggestion there, if you've already got this down, then we can maybe find some ways for you to add some more complicated details. If it's quite difficult, I always suggest playing slowly. That will help you play smoothly. That will help you eventually play faster, but always go slow first so you can build smoothness. So this basic rhythm here consists of two little sections, and they just bounce back and forth. The first section, I'm going to count this like a 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I am going ta wa I ta wo do. So breath, ta breath ha, ta breath ha. Now there's an interesting thing that happens on the last syllable. We'll get to that. The first little piece. Now, let's just be really clear about talking about these rhythms. The first syllable, ta, I'm using the tongue just to help initiate a little pulse of pressure. And ta or da helps me kind of feel open in my mouth so that I can then compress to breathe. Then there's a nice relaxation, just an exhale. Then similarly, again, ta breath, ta ha ta, and then a do. And I often breathe on the do. And it's this funny thing I've talked about before, the all-in-one breath, a bit of a, pressurization, and then right as soon as you can, a breath. On its own. Without the digit, it kind of feels like there's a little tongue initiation, a bit of an openness, a bit of pressure, and then immediately inhale. If you can't do that, I think it should be fine to play without it. And to be honest, I probably only breathe on it some of the time. When we get to a point where we don't necessarily need to think about breathing so forcefully or consciously on every single syllable that contains a breath. We just breathe as needed if our bodies are pressurized correctly. Does that make sense? So first piece. repeat it twice. We repeat it twice, and then we rearrange the parts in the second section. So we go from ta breath ha, ta breath ha, ta breath ha, ta breath ha, to ta breath ha, da, da. So let me do it all together so I don't confuse myself. Ta breath ha, ta ta breath ha, ta breath, ta wa ha, ta breath, da, da. And you can breathe there if you want. Ta breath ha, ta breath, ta breath ha, breath, ta breath ha, ta breath, ta breath ha, ta breath. That's a tongue twister. It's so funny doing YouTube videos because I don't know if you're getting it, but you can press pause and work on it, and you can always rewind. I'll play it a little bit without too much variation, just this rhythm, so you can get more of a feeling for it. First a little more slowly and then a little faster. Now I have to remember what the rhythm is. There it is. Okay, so we're almost 8 minutes into the video, and that is probably more than enough to work on for some, and that's great. Just go off and work on that. I think there's a lot of power in having little pieces of rhythm that you can rearrange into different structures so that you can then put them together into longer rhythms. So essentially we're taking very similar pieces but just changing the order. Tao, hita wo, tawa, hita wo. You know, like that piece at the second part, it's just taking the tawa, hita wo and putting it together versus the first part, which is tawa, hita wo, do. You've got a do in between. Tawa, hita wo, do, tawa, hita wo, do, tawa, hita wo, tawa, hita wo, do, do. And the two do's, the one in the middle and the one after the second one, they get pushed together at the end. Oral tradition. This is how I like to pass rhythms on. We can write them down. That could be a good resource. If anyone out there wants to notate it, that would be cool. I've done that in the past, and sometimes my brain just doesn't want to do it. So we're going to take this rhythm and use the first half as the main continual structure, and the second part comes in, and then we drop it and replace it with something else. And then it comes back in, and then we drop it and replace it with something else. So, and there's so many possibilities here. So I'm gonna drop it and replace it with a few different possibilities. So you have an idea of what we can put in that space. So the first section will keep the same all the time. Then we do something here. Then we go back to, then we do something different there. So we set up the basic rhythm. You can kind of decide, do you want to just do one playthrough? Do you want to double it? Do you want to play it 4 times? So for now, let's go. Let's play it twice through, just for the sake of this video, but you could play that 4 times through if you wanted. Now we're going to change it. That's interesting because even though I was going for something simple, I think what I just played is actually really tricky. So let me simplify even more. That's not necessarily simple either. That's tricky. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Actually, that's fine. A lot of folks play that rhythm or variations of that rhythm that count. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. If we're counting 1, 2, 3, 4, dawa atawa da dawa atawa da dawa atawa da dawa atawa da. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, or 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. You could consider that 8 syllables, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then you could go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. I thought I was going to make this simple, but we'll see. So in between, I might want to break out of this kind of fast rhythm and go dee da da dee da da dee 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 do do dee do do dee dee. So then together, I'm adding a little tongue roll there at the end of the main second phrase. We'll call it first phrase, second phrase. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. That's a possibility. Another possibility takes me back to something I used to practice when I first started playing didgeridoo, which was taka-taka, taka-taka. So I might swap in taka-taka da, taka-taka da, taka-taka. That's a great place to practice that. Taka-taka da, or daga-daga da, daga-daga da, daga-daga. You notice these rhythms I'm swapping in aren't utilizing much in the way of breathing yet. That's because I'm getting more than enough space to breathe in during right there. Lots of breath. I have tons. And these in-between rhythms might be a good way to actually bring my breath down if I'm starting to get too full. Daga-daga da, daga-daga da, 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 or daga-daga da, daga-daga da, daga-daga. So, phrase 1 and then this new piece. Tongue roll. I don't know why I want to keep dropping that in there, so that is an option. So we might play, let's say now, 2 repetitions of phrase 1, 2, 1, 2, and then drop 2 and put this new piece in. Tongue roll, tongue roll. So what else can we put in there? If you've ever worked on Taka Waka, that's actually really nice to drop in here. It gives it a really different feeling. Really different feeling. So, tawa atawa da, tawa atawa da, taka waka da, taka waka da, da, da. That would work. Taka waka da, taka waka da, da, da. Hold on. Yeah, that's the right first rhythm. Phrase 1. videos on Taka Waka if you want to understand that better. Taka Waka da, Taka Waka da da da. Taka Waka da, Taka Waka da da da. I know some folks will tend to count that downbeat, Taka Waka da, Taka Waka da da da, in 4, but some people will prefer to double that and count Taka Waka da, Taka Waka da da da. We could also go Taka Waka, Taka Waka, Taka Waka da da. That would also work. So phrase 1 and then this new variation. And then I went somewhere else. That could work. It's really nice to throw that in there. When I was playing around with this rhythm earlier, recording it and playing it back, I really liked when I heard the Taka Wakas come through. It just changes up the underlying structure of the rhythm and changes. It's a change away from what we're expecting. Let me play it for you. So phrase 1 and 2 together twice, and then phrase 1 with some variation of Taka Waka. I like that. So we've got Taka Waka in different combinations. We've got daga daga in different combinations. If you could go daga 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 da da, that would also work. So mixes of daga daga, and then whatever the other one is. Oh yeah, 1 2 3 1 2 3 1 2. Those are all good options. Of course, we could combine 1 2 3 daga daga da Taka Waka. This is about building a sense of time. We build this structure that gives us this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. We have that much time to work with. Are you familiar enough with your different phrases to drop in just enough? Not too much and not too little. So if it is something like 1, 2, 3, taka daga, taka waka da, there's just a sense of 4 counts. 1, 2, 3, taka daga, da, taka waka, back to the rhythm. What else can we throw in there? I'm going to explore this a little bit, just open it up. Might be a little bit messy, but I'm going to play with the Taka Wakas, the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and the taka daga as variations. So phrase 1, phrase 2, twice, then a bunch of variations, and then back to phrase 1, phrase 2. And then at the end, it kind of went somewhere else. That is because usually after, so many repetitions of a phrase and its variations, then I want to really change it up at the end. And I might drop phrase 1 and phrase 2 and let something else kind of play out. That's almost a video for another time, or a topic for another video another time. I was thinking another thing I like to drop in is a repetition of tawa, 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 do, do. That goes back to one of my earliest more popular videos where I re-explained a didgeridoo dojo rhythm, which was tawa 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 do do, or do. I don't quite remember the original rhythm now, but something like that. So that could be dropped in. Dawa ita wa dawa ita wa do do. That's 4 counts right there. So we could have woo, lost it for one sound there. That's a nice one. Ta breath ha ta breath ha ta breath ha ta breath ha do, or do do. Ta breath ha ta breath ha ta breath ha ta breath ha do do. Oh my goodness, that's a lot. That's over 20 minutes of stuff for you to play with. I'm going to leave it there. I would love to hear in the comments where you had fun with the rhythms and what you liked, where you're struggling and want more help with. Anything else you want to share? I love your comments. I don't always get around to replying to all of them, but I do like reading them, and I see pretty much all of them. So I'll leave you with that. I also want to let you know that my work in the world has gone from teaching dance and general teaching and facilitation to teaching and playing didgeridoo. But all of that has kind of an underlying healing, helping, and therapeutic, foundation. And I've recently graduated with a professional counseling diploma. I'm also now a counselor. So I am available for counseling sessions. Based on where you live, there may be some regulations to navigate, but I do sessions online. So you could come to me for didgeridoo lessons, and that in itself is a certain therapy. You know, the impact of breath work, proper breathing and posture, the confidence to make weird noises, the connection to self-expression, those are all therapeutic. Same when I was teaching dance, to be in one's body, to connect with one's nervous system, self-expression again. But we could also just talk. We could also do somatic work. We could also do breath work. We could do nervous system regulation. There are a lot of options. So I invite you to check out my website link in the description below and reach out anytime if you're looking for any kind of guidance in any of these realms. Okay, that's enough of my little marketing speech. Thank you so much for watching. Happy playing. And I hope to see you again, or put something out there again soon, sooner than 6 months. Take care.